ìyàgbẹ́ ìyàgbẹ́ lọ́tún òru ló máa ń yàgbẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ tí yàgbẹ́ ti ta ló.
Sorry about that break in transmission. It was due to internet, reset in the office. I want to believe that all of us are well, and of course, we get started already. So this is a Raleigh Academy's Morning Market Review. We do this every Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, of course, Fridays. And what we do basically is come around online and analyze the market objectively, even though it doesn't serve as financial advice, which is true. It actually serves to enlighten us, to educate us, and to kind of like give us an idea of where price may move to in the course of the day or the week, as the case may be. So we're going to be looking at some instrument this morning, starting from Euro USD. When I share my screen to that's the currency, to commodities like gold, to and of course wheat and the rest of them, and also to indices like IFRS 40, which is Italian 40 index, and of course DAX and Nasdaq and Dow Jones and the rest of them. We look holistically at all those things. All right. Of course, it's actually to actually educate us as to where price may move on the charts, just to teach us how to kind of trade. Now, let's get started already. Of course, I must actually commend, who that already wish me good morning this morning, starting from Akano Femi. Appreciate you, brother. Of course, to every other person that was sending me messages, I appreciate you all. Last week I was not here. Actually stood in for me. That's because I was actually, leave to kind of like, visit family and the rest of them. So we'll start now. Of course, I'll do it better. Good morning. So let me share my screen very fast. I'm going to be using MT4 for today's event. So it doesn't matter what platform you are in, whether you are on MT4 or MT5, it doesn't matter, all right? Same thing. Excuse me, MT4 is the older version of MT5, or MT5 is the newer version of MT4, all right? It's MetaPort products, two of them. Of course, clients can use either of them to trade, okay? We can trade. Of course, even though we are, it's not our fault though, it's actually what MetaPort wants, even though all of us are still eventually migrating to MT5. So it is best you continue to use MT5 so that you can, get used to it, all right? So let me start by quickly, looking at what my account did. Last week I was not around, so I didn't really trade much. If you look at this month of August, I've not really done much when it comes to profit. Okay, so if I come to custom period and I go to this month, 1st of August, so I'm going to put one there, and then I'll do okay. Okay, that's from August 1 to now. Then I'll do okay, so that we can see how much I've been able to make this month of August. All right. So the month of August, you can see that I've not really made much, just 89,000, which is unusual, right? Normally, I would have made like maybe 100 and something thousand, 200 and something thousand, all right? But it's what it is. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you make money. And of course, you can see that some of my trade hit stop loss last week, especially this Japanese yen. Actually, it's reduced my profit because I already made, I think about 110,000 there. But then that's the purpose of stop loss, right? Stop loss serves to, help you to kind of like, minimize risk in trading. Now you can see that actually you don't lose this Japanese yen, but then it's because of what it is, right? So actually predicted that the price was going to go down. You can see that I was on sell, right? Sell right here, sell right here. Okay, and of course the market eventually dropped because you can see that if not for the stop loss that it hit, I would have been profitable, right? Because I believe that this Japanese yen market or price is still going to continue to drop. All right, that's still if I'm going to be trading Japanese yen going forward, I'm going to be looking to sell it. All right, and that's what I would do. Okay, so and of course, since I'm already on Japanese yen, I can as well tell you okay what I feel the price will do. So you can already see that the indicator here, stochastic, is already showing us signal that the price may continue to fall. All right, so which means that if you are interested in trading this one, you may want to be looking in that direction. Okay, so and of course this line that I put here as the since last week is more like a support, right? It's a support. Okay, so 147513 is a support, or used to be a support, but now it is turning resistance. So what you can do is to kind of like if I'm to trade, I'll be looking at this region for my entry. So right, so if I'm going to be trading this one, I'm going to be using limit order. Okay, if I'm going to be trading it, I'm going to be using limit order around this price. Okay, that will be selling it, right? So I'm going to be using selling it around this order or around this price, 147513, such that if the price get back there, it could actually, pick me in, and of course I'll be on the trade. Of course, if I don't do it around that 147513, I can as well do it around this region, which is 147626 thereabouts, right? So that's what I'll be looking to do on Japanese yen, right? So I'm going to now go to Euro USD. Euro USD. Now, Euro USD was ferociously bullish on Friday, and that's because of Jackson Hole Symposium, okay, following the Federal Reserve comment, Federal Reserve Chairman's comment. Okay, so I was actually, not that I was trading, I was far away somewhere in Ondo State. And of course, I was just, looking at the market as at that time that the market was really, really mad. I wasn't trading Euro USD. You can see that I didn't even have any trade on Euro USD, right? Okay, so I don't have any trade on it as of then. You can see that I don't have any Euro USD here. So, but then I was actually looking at the price, dancing in that direction. Now, what I feel the price of Euro USD will do going forward, based on the event of Friday, is that this price may continue to go bullish. Because if you look at the monthly chart, there's still enough room for the price to continue to push forward. Okay, looking at the monthly chart, right? The price could still come to this resistance zone. It will still reach here, right? Okay, those are potentials. That means the price could as much as get to 1.25. That's what it means. Or let's say around 1.23, right? Thereabouts. The price will get there. Now, which means that if you look at the weekly chart, there's still enough room for the price to move. Let me close this part so that you can see what I'm trying to show you. So the price still have about how many pips to move? Most likely, the price can still go as far as 500, 600 pips to the upside before it begins to collapse. Because it will still go down. dollar is that strong, all right, to be able to push it down. But based on what we are seeing, okay, as far as all these news are concerned, the price of Euro USD could continue to, push forward. So if I'm going to be trading Euro USD, I'll be looking to trade a buy, right? Okay, I'll be looking to trade a buy until the price push as much as maybe 400, 500 pips. Then I'll be looking to sell, because that's when the price will be at the resistance. Now, if you look at the daily chart also, let me do this so that you can see it well. You can see that on the daily front, we have a bullish engulfing already in this guy. Okay, so anything that will make this price now move, to the extent that it will now begin to close above this candle, would mean that the price will continue to, push to the upside. And already today's candle is beginning to look like something that could actually surpass that. So if I'm going to be trading Euro USD, I could be using buy stop. Now, you guys know that I really use buy stop on my trades, okay? So, but this is one occasion whereby I could be using buy stop. So if I'm going to be trading Euro USD, buy stop will be ideal when the price crosses above this region of 1.174, all right? 1.17433, 1.17430. So if I'm going to be trading Euro USD, I'm going to be trading the buy stop at around 1.14733, 1.17433. Let me repeat. If I'm going to be trading Euro USD, I'm going to be trading a buy when the price cross 1.14733. That's what I will do. All right. So I'm going to go to M15 of it and look at what will happen. So if I don't want to use buy stop, there are some other things I could do. All right. I'm going to show you what I could do differently. So I'm going to go to here and call this guy. Then, oh, sorry, this one. Now, if I call this indicator, I'll be looking to buy when this moving average, the red one, cross above the black. That's if I don't want to do a stop order. Okay, that's what I'll do. I'll be waiting for this moving average on this 15 minutes chart. Remember, the one I was telling you was 1 hour for the buy stop. But if I'm going to be trading 15 minutes, then I'm going to be waiting for this red line to cross above the black. That's the first step. Then if it does that, then I'll be looking for a breakout. Okay, and I feel that could happen around here. Right. So then I could use a kind of like an instant execution order to place a trade. So if this happens around this region, which is even lower price, even lower zone, 1.1472. Remember the first one I mentioned, where I'm going to be placing a stop order, was 1.174. But here on the 15 minutes chart, I could be looking at 1.17200 for me to place an instant execution. But then that will depend on what happened here, right? What happened between these two lines in the future. So if eventually the red cross above the black, and then this region 1.172 is breached, then I'll be in for a buy on Euro USD. Pretty simple, right? And straightforward. So I've been able to analyze objectively what I feel on Euro USD as well as USD Japanese yen. That said, so I'm going to go to NASDAQ and check. Now NASDAQ already have kind of like this is pretty simple, straightforward, analysis. NASDAQ already have what we call a spinning bar of 15 minutes. Now, what you can do is you can put two lines on this, one on top of the spinning bar. Remember, I'm on 15 minutes chart on this one. A line below and a line above. There's a candle there that I'm looking at, the immediate past candle on 15 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to be waiting for what price will do, okay, on this one. So if the price breaches this above, it could mean that the price will continue to go up. Or if the price breaches this level below, it could mean that the price will continue to drop. But I feel that the price could actually drop, all right? I'm not 100% sure. No, I'm not. I'm not 100% sure. It's just my gut feeling that price could drop. So by this, I actually set a trap for this, all right? I set a trap for this price. As at when it wanted to go up. Okay, that was around here, I think last week. I set a trap, but the price refused to come back for me. for that region. So I was actually supposed to place a buy here, but I didn't want to do instant execution. So I did what we call limit order, which was buy limit. But unfortunately, the price did not come back for me, or for the price, or for the trap. So I'm going to delete this. It's no longer valid, right? That's what we do in trading. If your trade is no longer valid, you can delete it. All right, normal. It's one of those things. So, but going forward, what I'm going to be looking to do on US 100, which is Nasdaq, will depend on what happened after this 15 minutes candle. Okay, so I'm going to be closely watching this, but I want to feel that I want to believe that this price may continue to drop, right? Based on what I'm seeing, from other instruments like this D30. Now D30, which is sorry, D40, different from Nasdaq. What I'm seeing here is kind of like bearish, right? So what happened in recent past was this information here, right? So that was a bearish engulfing bar. And of course, I actually saw this like maybe 30 minutes ago, but I didn't really take it serious. All right, I just ignore it because I didn't want to place a sell, but I feel that the price could continue to drop based on this information, most likely today. All right, most likely today. So most likely this D40 could just be bearish today, most likely. So if you want to trade it, you may want to kind of like use this indicator, this one, and you will need to wait for the, which is already happening. All right. I actually missed this one. All right. I should have just placed a sell. Uh, I didn't see that. Okay, I didn't see it coming. So what I can do is to do limit order. Okay, but which is also risky. Limit order is really difficult to play around with on NAS. Sorry, on DAX. Okay, so now this opportunity is missed seriously. All right, so I should have placed a sell, but I missed it. So I'm not going to trade this one today. I'll just keep it, move forward. Now that's one thing with trading. You need to learn to let go. All right, when the opportunity does no longer serve your interest. Okay, you can let go of an opportunity when it doesn't really, or it's not likely going to serve your interest, right? Because if you do limit order on this one, like sell limit, if you do limit order and you wait here for a sell, D40 could actually be ferocious enough to break the resistance and push forward. All right. When the opportunity arose here, I should have placed a sell, but I missed it. So I'm not going to trade D40 today. I'll just keep it. That's my own gut feeling. But of course, if you like, you can just go ahead and do more analysis on it and trade it. Now, crude oil is finally back where I didn't even look at this one also last week. It's finally back where I wanted to be. So I will be looking to go bullish on this one. Let me plot a line. Okay, so the way I see this one, the opportunity for a buy arose here, right? But we missed it. I missed it. Let me put it that way. I missed it. I should have bought around here. So what I can do is to extend this line further and wait at around 62.7. So I'll be looking to buy when the price of crude oil fall to around 62.7. Right? So I'm going to do a limit order around there. Limit at around 62.7. There's a reason for that, right? Now, if this price falls down, if it begins to drop, it is likely going to meet this trend line around that zone, which is the trend line I'll be waiting for. Okay, it's likely going to do that. If it doesn't fall to that deep, if it doesn't fall that deep, it could fall as much as this one. Yeah, so if it doesn't come down to 2.7, it could actually come to 3.45 thereabouts. Actually come to that level. So which is a little bit T or dense. So 3.45 could be a bit more stress for this. Thereabouts 4546. So 63.45 or 46 will be a price to watch. So I'm going to be watching this. So if the price of crude oil, depends on what it does there, right? At around 63.45 or 63.46. So I'm going to be looking at what the candle structure will be around that level. Now that's when the price will, meet this, most likely meet this moving average 50 So because it's currently threatening to break below 21. If it breaks below 21, it's more likely going to, have kind of a rest at around this moving average 50, which then will coincide with this price of 63.46. Now, at that level, it depends on what the price does. If it gives me a bullish engulfing bar, I could go ahead and place a buy. Otherwise, I'll be waiting for the price to kind of like stabilize at around 62.7. So that's what I'm going to do on crude oil. I'm going to be waiting for the price to give me what I want. All right. So I'm going to go to the next item on this list today that I have for you. I'm going to be going to USD CAD. Now, Canadian dollar, has been strong against US dollar, even though US dollar has been very, very kind of like stubborn. All right, we saw this in the first instance here. US dollar was able to recover. Then we also see this, or we saw this last week, Friday, on Jackson Symposium. Now, what I will tell you to do is this. Let me clear this and give you kind of like a clean candle. Now, if I'm going to be trading USD CAD, I'm going to be watching for this level. Okay, let me come here and paint that part. Now, while I paint this part on 1 hour, I'm going to go into the monthly chart to show you what I mean. So on the monthly chart, this price still have potential to drop, right? And that's because we've seen kind of like 3 tops in recent time. This level, that serves as a resistance. Okay, so which means that the price of USD CAD could still go down. Let me insert a moving average. I want to see what the moving average will be. 50. 50 is fine. Okay, well, this could be a support, right? So on the monthly chart, this price is currently around this moving average. Well, this price may not really go down that much. USD CAD may not go down that much. I think the reason why I don't have been strong on this one is because of this information I'm seeing on the screen. So it may not go down there except we break this line below. So let me check 1 hour, sorry, weekly. Now weekly is not here, neither here nor there. Okay, so it's currently kind of like trading below that. But that's a lot of pressure down. Let's look at daily. Daily, well, um, nothing much, except this candle go bearish. That's when I can tell you that this price will continue to go down. Now, finally, let me insert something different. I love this to be able to objectively give me what I want. All right, so wow. Okay, so what I'm going to do on this one is that I'm going to be looking to sell this daily bar when the price crosses below. I'm going to put a line on this part. When the price cross below 1.38129, then I will be very sure that the price will most likely go down. Also, today is Monday, so I'm going to be careful trading USD CAD, and I'm going to wait until if today's bar can be bearish. I'm hoping so. If today's bar eventually finish bearish, it is possible. All right, don't say it is not because it's currently bullish. Something may happen, and then because the price will continue to drop, and if it goes bearish, if it can as much as go bearish, then I'll go in and sell. I'll just place a start discussion and place a sell on USD CAD, right? Now, let me go to 15 minutes and see if I can, finally look at an opportunity, like a faster opportunity, which is already happening right now. So what I can do is to do what we call kind of like a stop order, new order. I think I can do this one. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trade this one. The one I'm going to do is going to be stop order, which is sell stop. I'm going to use a price 1.3817. 1.38. I'm going to place this first. Yeah. So I'm going to be waiting here for the sell. That's where I'm going to be waiting. Okay. Sell stop at around, let me check. I'm going to be placing the sell at around 1.381. Let me just change it to 00. 1.381 would be my ideal price for the sell. Okay, so whatever the price is doing, if today the price eventually turns bearish and is able to cross below 1.381, then I'll be on a sell trade. That's what I want to do. That's what I will do as far as USD CAD is concerned, right? So let me quickly go to, I may have a meeting now. I'm having a lot of requests for me to attend an emergency meeting. So I may call somebody else in to come and continue this class. But based on what we have done so far, I've been able to kind of analyze 1, 2, 3 instruments. So let me see comment section to see if anybody have anything for me. Wisdom. All right. So he wants me to look at GBP USD, and Euro Pound because it came late. Right. So I'm going to look at that as time permits. So, but first, give me a second. Let me call somebody saying to come and continue this class. Second.
All right, so I'm going to take off from where my boss stopped now. Okay, so A1, wisdom, you're saying we should look at you don't know if you have analyzed GBP USD and Euro GBP because you came. All right. So let's look at GBP USD. Then we also go straight to Euro GBP. Yeah, looking at that now. Let me start with GBP USD. All right, on it, GBP USD. Okay. Okay, sorry for that. There was a network glitch, but I'm back now. So you'll be able to see it. Okay, so this is GBP USD currently. We're on GBP USD currently, and yes, this long candle we're seeing was as a result of the statement or the speech that was made by Powell. That was last week. Yes, it was as a result of the speech that was made by Powell last week, and after that, by 5 p.m., we also had Trump coming back to speak to on the market, but the whole movement was not that strong. Yeah, so yeah, throughout last week, the market was more of a fundamental movement. The market moved fundamentally last week. But let's look at what is happening on a long time frame. Let's see. So based on what we've seen, we discovered that GBP had actually gone up for a time. And based on what we're seeing, it's more or less like price wants to come down. But we are seeing the moving average now. This is on the daily time frame. It's looking as if it wants to cross over again. So if it crosses over, that might be giving us an insight like there want to be a continuation on the upward trend because dollars has actually been weak for a while. You understand? Dollars has been weak for a while. And that's why we can see that on GBP as the price has been pushing up. But it might still be the case and it can continue going down depending on what the market is saying. But let's look at it on the lower time frame. So on the lower time frame now, this is on my 1 hour time frame. We discovered that price currently for me had pulled back to this point. So this point is actually one of the zones that we'll be looking at here now. So if price is able to break below this particular section that we are seeing, then we could expect price to recover all what it has done here. Because for me, one of the things we need to understand is this movement is actually an abnormal move. It was triggered by news, the information, a statement that was made. That was what happened here. So yes, we could have price pushing down to this point. All fine, price has actually reversed down to this point. There could be a continuation in that line. But let's, based on what we're saying, we need to hold on for price and see what price is going to do around this section. If price is able to come back between this point and price respects this particular section successfully, then we could have a reversal back to the upside. But if it's able to break below this part, then we could have price coming back into this point, dropping down, because for a while we've actually seen price giving us that downward trend on the 1 hour time frame on GBP USD. So I will be envisaging that we should wait for and see if price is able to break below this part. But if that does not happen, then we could have a continuation in that line. That's my take on GBP USD. So let's look at Euro GBP now. Euro GBP. Let's see what is happening on Euro GBP. Euro GBP. Okay. Still with us. Yes, Euro GBP. Okay, so I'm on Euro GBP now. Okay, so on Euro GBP, this is what we are seeing. Now I'm zooming out. First thing first, we've looked at it on the daily time frame. That's what I'm saying. You can see that price has actually been pushing up for a while, even though it's going up, giving us that higher high, higher low, and everything. It's been pushing up. So let's look at it on the lower time frame to emphasize. So price is actually pushing to the upside. But for that to happen now, one of the things I'm expecting is, if it's to continue on that bullish trend, let's wait for it to break above this resistance zone here. Let's wait for it to break above this resistance zone here. That's what I would advise us to do. Let's wait for it to break above the resistance zone here. If it's able to break above this point successfully, then we can look out for price to buy. But one of the things I want us to also understand is this: when price is getting to a new high and is a new zone, mainly a new supply zone, first thing first, most of the time price respects that point and what reverses back to the downside. You always see price pushing back to the downside, and I'm expecting that's the main reason. If you look at candle zero for now, that's why candle zero is having issues where it is currently. You understand? You can see that price is currently struggling there, but once price is able to break above this section, fine, we're expecting it to push up. But if that is not the case, if price should respect this zone, we could expect price to drop back down. Then yes, maybe gather some momentum to push to the upside. So that's that on Euro GBP. Okay. All right. All right, so we'll move to the next instrument now. Let's see. All right, so you're saying US 30. Somebody is saying US 30. Let's look at US 30. All right, let's look at US 30. Let's look at US 30 and see what is happening on US 30. US 30. All right, I'm on US 30 now. So basically on US 30, you discover that price actually moved up very well. And it's actually true. Reasons, remember, just like I said, there was a speech that was given by Powell, and that affected it. The speech was not really in favor of the US economy. It was more of a negative speech to their economy. So the reaction for stocks, price went up, and that's why you're seeing it going up. It has gotten to a new high, and that's why you discover that price is reversing back. That's what you're seeing. This is on the daily time frame now. If you look at it, let me zoom in out so you'll be able to get it very well and clearly. Okay, so I'm bringing it out for us to see. That's the point it got to. And yes, once price get to a new high, most likely it's meant to what? To push back down. Even if it is still going up, one of the things that you do is it will go back down, then gather another strength, you understand, to push to the upside, even if what you're expecting is for price to still continue that bullish move. You understand? But as of now, based on what we're seeing as of this morning, price has got to a new high. So we're expecting price to drop a little. Now, price could get to where this average is or even break below it before reversing back to the upside, because this moving average you're seeing here, kindly note, is more of a dynamic zone. The moving average you're seeing, it's more of a dynamic zone. So if it breaks below this section, if price is able to break below this particular average you're seeing here successfully, then it has another zone to come and to battle with, which is around this point. This is another one around here. Can you see? It's actually close to the average. So price could get to this point and expect it then reverse back to the upside. But yes, I'm expecting that everything will be all right. They'll be trying to reverse back most of what they've done, some of the statements and all those things. So we could expect price to drop. Based on my own bias, I feel price should drop a little, even though we're expecting to still push back to the upside. But it could drop to this particular zone. Then around this zone, we could have price going bullish again on US 30. That's my take on US 30. We could have price pushing to the upside from this point. Okay. All right. Okay. Arubi, you're saying we should look at gold. All right. Let's look at gold. Let's see what is on gold. Let's see what is happening on gold. Let's see what is happening on gold. Let's see what is happening on gold. I'm going to check that for us now. Gold. Okay, back there now. This is gold. We're on gold now. Gold, gold, gold. And this is gold. This is gold. Well, for me, I'm still expecting the price of gold to push up. For a while, gold has actually done, pulled back down and everything. So, yes, I'm expecting the price to still push up on gold. I'm still expecting that bullish move on gold. Now, for me, I will advise you hold on for price to get rejected at this point. If it's dropping, let it drop to around this zone. Around this zone, you could have your buy. Take your buy around this particular section that's been marked out for us. I'm expecting price to still push up on gold. I'm expecting a bullish move on gold. Price should still push up on gold. I'm not going to be buying for a bearish move on gold. I expect a bullish move on gold. Yes, based on what we're seeing. And if we look at it even on the daily time frame, if you're looking at it on the daily time frame, you discover that what it's doing is it's actually moving sideways. Price has been moving sideways on gold on the daily time frame. If you look at it, yes, this is the higher time frame. Price has gone up for a while and now it's moving sideways. And the real truth is this: when price begins to range, we already know that price is trying to correct itself on all those movements. You understand? Price consolidation zones are known as correction zones. So price is trying to correct itself, and after everything, my own bias is still what? Bullish. I'm expecting price to still go up. That's my take on gold. I'm expecting a bullish move on gold. So looking at it from 1 hour, I feel I'm expecting it to do a pullback down to this point. And once it respects this zone, there should be a push to the upside. Or you might decide that, okay, you don't want to go from that point. You want to wait for it first. Then if you're waiting for price to come up to this point, hold on for it to break above this particular zone. Then you could have your buy stop above this point. Your buy stop could be above this particular zone that has been marked out for us. You could have your buy stop above this particular section. Or you wait for it, you could do a buy limit here, price picks you up here and reverses back to the upside. So that's my own take on gold. That's my take on gold. Yes. I'm expecting price to still push up on gold. All right. Let's look at another instrument now. Let's see. Which other instrument coming? Okay. I just finished gold now. And Kalu, you also requested for gold and US 100. So we'll look at US 100 and see what is happening on US 100. Let's see what is happening on US 100 right away. Let's see what is on US 100. Although it's been talked about, but I'll look at it. Let's still go there. This is it on 15 minutes time frame. And based on what we are seeing on 15 minutes, let me zoom it out so we can see. On 15 minutes time frame, can we see? Actually went up and it's pulling pushing back, and you can see it has gone to this point where this moving average is. So I will advise you hold on for it to break above this point, this particular horizontal line at the top. If it's able to break above it successfully, then you can go for that bullish move, because price came down and it has respected this support here. You discover that the wick actually touched it, and look at it. In fact, I feel this is double bottom. This is it here, one, and this is the second one here, two. I'm expecting it to go up on US 100. I'm expecting a bullish move on US 100 based on what I'm seeing on this 15 minutes time frame. This is that point. This is another point. So this is double bottom. I'm expecting it to go up. But if you do not want to go directly, wait for it to break above this particular horizontal line that has been marked up here. Once it breaks above it successfully, you can go for that bullish move. You can go for your buy. But yes, I'm expecting US 100 to go bullish. So I pitch my tent with the bulls on US 100. All right, John Obani is saying we should look at GBP JPY. Okay, let's see what is happening on GBP JPY. Let's see what is happening on GBP JPY. I will just GBP JPY. Okay, GBP JPY. I'm on it. So based on what we're seeing on GBP JPY now, let's look at the daily time frame to know the trend. So I'm zooming out. So if you look at it on daily time frame, price has actually gone up for a while now. Actually, JPY has been weak. It's actually been weak, and that's why it will gather strength a little while, then fall back, and then but JPY totally, yes, it's been weak for a while, and that's why you're seeing that GBP JPY price has been pushing to the upside for a while now. So let's look at it on 1 hour and see what we are expecting. Let's see, what are we expecting on JPY, GBP JPY. So if you look at it on 1 hour, you discover that price got to this particular high and you expected that point. It got to this high, you expected that point. Can you see this is double top? And from that double top, you discover that since then, price actually came down to this zone here, this demand zone around this point. Price has respected that point, because that particular point you're seeing price being pushing back to the upside used to be a resistance, but now price got to that point and it has pushed back to the upside. So are we expecting price to still push up? Based on what we are seeing now, you can see, let me zoom it in further so we can see it. You should be expecting, based on what we are seeing, if this candle closes bearish, because we can see that the two moving average now are actually on each other. They are lapping on each other. If it closes bearish, I'm expecting it to go for a bearish move. So we are going to be waiting for this candle zero to close. Whatever it gives us on candle zero is what we're going to follow. So if it closes bearish, then I feel we should pitch our tent with the bears. But if it closes bullish, then we should expect price to push up on GBP JPY. In fact, let's look at it. Okay. So based on what we're seeing, in fact, this is on 15 minutes time frame now, and you can see it on 15 minutes time frame. We are beginning to see that bullish candle. So if it's able to close above the red moving average at the top, then we should expect it to go up. But we can see that price is still struggling around that point. Just like I said to us earlier, I said the moving average is known to be a dynamic zone. It's going to be a dynamic zone. So if price is struggling around that point, we need to wait for price to give us a definite direction. So on candle zero, let's wait and see what it's going to do. That's when we can now follow fully. So let's wait and see. This is on my 1 hour. Whatever it closes with, that's what we're going to follow. Okay, so that's that on GBP JPY. Okay. Yes. All right, so let's look at okay, Victor Edojo, you're saying we should look at DE40. DE40. All right. DE40. DE40. So on DE40 now, based on what we're seeing, we discovered that price has actually gone down for a while. It has gone down for a while. And before, all right, so earlier on, my boss has actually spoken on it, just like we're saying, and that's why you're seeing these two zones being marked out for us. So price has broken below these zones and it's coming down. But now it has gotten to this point. So we can see this is support zones. The last time price got there, it pushed back to the upside. Now it's there again, and we can see that price is doing the same. So if price is going to push up, it's coming into these points, this particular zone. So if it's able to break above this zone, then fine. We could have price pushing to the upside. But based on what we're seeing, let's look at it on the higher time frame. You can see it. Okay, so on higher time frame, wow. So fine, my decision on this is my decision. I am expecting price to get into this point, then drop back. A bearish move is what I'm expecting on DE40. So the pullback we're seeing is to come into this zone. We could have a sell limit around this point for price to get into this point, then drop back on DE40. So DE40, I'm waiting for price to push to the upside here, and then there should be a rejection back to the downside. That's my own take. All right. Alaska Jevic, they say, please check on GBP NZD. I have been on that market since weekend. Okay, GBP NZD. On the weekend, you placed a trade on weekend on GBP NZD. Well, weekends, the market closes, so I'm not sure, but all the same, I'm still going to look at GBP NZD. Let's look at it together. GBP NZD. Let's look at GBP NZD. GBP NZD. Yes. Okay, GBP NZD. I'm on that. I'm just coming. Let's look at GBP NZD. All right, GBP NZD. So first thing first, let's look at it on the higher time frame. Let's see what it's doing. So this is GBP NZD, and you discover that GBP has actually gained strength over NZD, and that's why you are seeing the push to the upside again. You see, got up to this point, came down and ranged for a while between this point, and that's why you're seeing the moving average. Even the moving average is in between the candles like that before it now broke above that point and it pushed up. Now it has gotten to this upside. This is on daily time frame. Okay, let's see. And you can see that price is respecting that same zone again, and that's why we're having this pull to the downside. But let's look at it on 1 hour time frame to know what price is going to do. Woo! So based on what I'm seeing here now, let's hold on and see. If price is able to break below this part successfully, we should expect a bearish move on GBP USD. If price breaks below this point successfully, then I am going for a bearish move on GBP NZD. That's my take. Bearish move on GBP NZD. Once it breaks below this part that has been marked out for us, we should go for that bearish move. I will pitch my tent with the bears on GBP NZD. Yes, GBP NZD, pitching my tent with the bears. Okay. Sanusi Olatunde, you're saying we should look at cocoa. Okay, let's see what is happening on cocoa. That's one of those agro commodities, one of the agro commodities. Cocoa is an agro commodity. Let's look at what is happening on cocoa. Yes. All right, on cocoa now. All right, so I'm on cocoa. So on cocoa, yes, daily time frame. What's it doing? Let's see what it's doing on daily time frame. It's giving us that downward trend on the daily time frame, and on our 1 hour time frame, even though as of this morning we can see that the candle is bullish, that's on candle 0, but it's giving us that bearish trend. Now, and the truth is, one of the things we need to understand is, yes, even if the market is giving a bearish trend, doesn't mean that in between that bearish trend you will still see the bulls trying to push their own way. So what we're seeing now has been more of bears. Price has been coming down on cocoa. So are we expecting it to still come down? Yes, based on what we're seeing, we're expecting it to come down. If you look at the trend, it's a down, it's giving us lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So I am expecting my move for cocoa to be what? Bearish. Fine, there could be a little pull back to this upside around this point. We could have a pullback to around this point due to this dynamic zone here. But if price is able to come back to this point, around this point, and I expect this zone, I'm expecting it to drop down from this point. You could have a sell limit around here, or you could decide to wait for price to break below this average, this particular average, the red average. Once it breaks below it, I'm coming, let's see, yeah, the 21 moving average. If price is able to break below this 21 moving average, then you go for that bearish move. Go for the bearish move. I expect price to drop on cocoa. I pitch my tent with the bears on cocoa. Right? Okay, so The next instrument we'll look at is wheat. Yes, somebody is saying we should look at wheat here. So let's look at wheat, then we look at US 2000. Okay, so wheat. Let's look at wheat. We're looking at wheat. It's also another agro commodity, wheat. So as of this morning on wheat, this is what we are seeing on my 1 hour. On the 1 hour time frame, can we see it? You discover that price actually gapped to the upside, then gapped down. And in fact, based on what we're seeing as of now, price is ranging. Price is ranging. And because price is ranging between these 2 points, we need to be very, very careful. In a ranging market, you need to be very, very careful, because ranging market are known as correction zones, you understand? So I'll just advise we wait for it to give us a clear path. How? Let it break outside. In fact, if I want to tighten it up, it will be between just some few points, you understand? But I'm picking from these 2 points, these 2 areas. I think it's better that way. It's either it breaks above this point, then we'll follow that direction, or it breaks below these 2 points, then we'll follow that direction. Okay, so wheat, our access to wheat. So as of this morning, it's just moving between 2 zones. You understand? It's ranging. So let's hold on after the gap up and lights. So let's wait for price to pick a definite direction. Then we follow. If it doesn't pick that direction, we need to wait. Because if you rush in, seriously, you're going to rush out. That's the way it is on wheat. So let's hold on. Let it give us that definite direction. But for those that would have been on a bullish move on wheat, while it gapped up and the likes, I know that yes, they should have closed their profit. That's the way it is on that. Okay. All right. Let's look at US 2000. Yes, US 2000. Still with us. Okay, US 2000. US 2000. On it now. This is US 2000. Okay. So on US 2000 is also giving us that same vibe as of this morning on 1 hour. If you look at it critically, you see that price is ranging on US 2000. It's giving us that sideways move. And just like I said some few minutes ago, a ranging zone is known as a correction zone. So what we need to do is to wait for it to pick a direction. And when we mean pick a direction, let it close outside these 2 points that has been marked out for us, either above or below. If it closes above that point, then you go for that bullish move. You go for the buy. If it closes below, you go for the sell. That's just the way it is. So I've marked it out for us so we can see it. Yes, that's what we're waiting for. Is it going to close above? If it closes above, then we know that that's the direction it's picking. So we'll go for that bullish move. If it goes below, then we know that yes, price is dropping. Price is dropping. That's that on US 2000. It has actually picked, shown us that that's what it's doing as of now. It's ranging. Okay. All right. So let's see. I'm with us now. I'm still coming. All right. Mr. Ebuka, you're saying NZD USD, kindly go back to gold. You like to take a screenshot of the zone. All right, NZD USD. So on gold, let me go back to gold so you can do the screenshot. So this is gold. This is gold. This is what you're seeing on gold as of now. Let's look at it, even if it's on the 15 minutes time frame. And on the 15 minutes time frame, you can see where it's resting. It's currently on these 2 average, both 21 and 50. So it's more or less like it's almost crossing there. So it depends. It depends. If the 21 is able to cross back to the upside, then we should expect price to go up. But if that is not the case, you know what is going to happen. Price is going to drop. But let's see what it's going to do as of now. This is it on 15 minutes time frame, and this is it on 1 hour time frame. So whatever it is, I might just be expecting it to just drop down to this point where this average is. Then from that point, I'm expecting a reversal back to the upside. Yes. Okay. So NZD USD. Let's look at NZD USD. NZD USD. Let's look at what is saying. Just missed it. Okay. NZD USD. And if you look at NZD USD, for a while, NZD has actually been dropping. NZD has been dropping for a while. If you look at it, let me zoom out. So look at it even on daily time frame. You see it got to this high, and since then it's been dropping slowly. It's been dropping calmly. If you're looking at the trend, you see that you can connect the dots. You understand? Price has been dropping on NZD. This is on daily time frame before it got to this particular section where you can call a support zone. You understand? So I feel price is just doing a pullback to the upside. Price could still continue on that bearish trend. So price could get rejected around this zone. This is on my daily time frame. Price could get rejected around this zone. From that point, continues that. But let's look at it on 1 hour. Okay. So if you look at it even on 1 hour now, you discover that price actually got to that point and could not go beyond that point and is coming back down. You understand? So I feel we are still expecting a bearish move on NZD USD. Is still going to be on that flow, bearish flow, going to the downside. Yes. So I expect bearish flow on NZD USD. All right. So this is 8:58 now. I just want one more person. You can just drop one more instrument. Just drop one more instrument. Then with that, we'll call it a day. We'll wrap it up. One more instrument. So who is that person? Counting down. One more instrument, or maybe I should select one more instrument for us. Then we'll look at it and we'll go on from there. All right. So I'm going to be. Okay, Bini Nathaniel, you raised your hand. Please kindly drop it on the chat section for me. Drop it on the chat section for me. Drop it on the chat section for me. Once you drop it, I'll read it and I'll respond to it. Bini Nathaniel, yes, I can see that you're raising your hand. Please drop it on the chat section. I'm waiting for you. Yes, I'm with us, waiting for us. Okay, coming now. Let me look at it. Yes. Mr. Bini Nathaniel, you're asking the question, what does it mean to buy or sell? All right, so this is the way it is. You know, in this market, one of the things you need to understand is you trade in pairs. We have the base and the quotes. Now, when you're buying, I'm going to be using this NZD USD. When you're buying, it means NZD. Now, the base is even a determinant of the kind of trade you place. Whether you're buying or selling, it falls on the base. Now, when you're buying, it means you're saying the NZD is good or is better, is stronger than USD. When you're selling, it means NZD is weak and you're buying USD. You understand? You're buying USD. It means whatever it is that is happening as of that moment, NZD is weak, USD is the strong man. So as you're selling NZD, USD, you're buying from behind. You get it? So that's the way it is in this market. So as of this moment, it's already 9. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining this morning market review. Really acknowledge you for joining. See you same time tomorrow. Bye for now.